All right, all right. What's going on, party people? This is your man Griff coming to you with another video. This video is about understanding your risk tolerance. So, what is your risk tolerance? And we're going to talk a little bit about this, and we're going to go a lot deeper into it. Yeah, we should be able to go a lot deeper into it on the member side and help people understand what theirs is and how to deal with it and come up with some plans on it because there's two parts to risk tolerance to in my opinion when it comes to business. You got to understand your risk tolerance and you have to understand the risk tolerance of your spouse. Yeah, I just want to let that sink in. See, a lot of people just look at risk tolerance as what they can willing to put up with. If you have a spouse or a significant other in your life, you also have to understand their risk tolerance. And if they don't have the proper risk tolerance for what you're doing here in this business, then it's going to be an issue. So when you start trying to move from one level to the next, and they're not able to deal with the okay, income was at 10,000 a month. Now we're making this move, income is going to be at 7. If they can't handle that because it's risky doing this move and they can't handle that, then there's going to be problems. So yeah, in after maybe 2-3 months after you do this move, money's going to be more. It's going to be maybe even double, but during that time, if their risk tolerance is low and they can't deal with that, it's going to be a problem. So you have to understand what risk tolerance is, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that and everything. So just to show y'all real quick, and most of the risk tolerance you hear about is dealing with investments. Okay, so um as it talks about here, what is risk tolerance? And let me just make this bigger if I can find my mouse, and then let me pump this up a little bit more. So it says here, what is risk tolerance? And it talks about investments. And you look at anything that you're trying to do in expanding your business, your I wish that thing would stop. Anything you're doing to expand your business, as far as adding quote unquote another stream of income and all of that, that's an investment. Anything you're trying to do to expand your business, that's an investment in your business. And it says all investments involve a degree of risk. There's always a possibility of loss as well as profit. Before you invest, you need to understand how much risk you are comfortable with. This is known as your risk tolerance. A clear and simple risk tolerance definition is a certain degree of variability in investment returns that a trader feels. So in this case, you put in as a notary or a business owner feels. So defining your risk tolerance is one of the top major steps before choosing investment prospects most aligned with your financial goals. Risk tolerance usually relates to an asset's volatility, market price swings, and the amount of market risk. So you have to understand that there's risk involved in everything, and you have to understand what those risks are, and you have to understand how are you how are you going to deal with that and willing to deal with that. So when people and a lot of people have commented, when I every time I do a say something about a product, when I did the what's in my bag, you need to do affiliate links. When I talk about something, you need to do affiliate links. I did the scanner the other day, you need to do affiliate links. I got that. But one of the things that I've learned is that the majority of people are finding my channel after they've gone through a gauntlet of other people's channels. And by the time they go through all of their channels, any of the things that I could possibly even talk about or promote, for as, hey, buy this, they've already bought it from their affiliate links. You see what I'm saying? So they're going to all of these other notaries. They're getting with these other companies and doing the notary training, and they're pushing their affiliate links, which is more than likely 90% or more of what they're going to push is the same thing that I will put up there. So by the time they get to me, it's like I've already bought these products. So you're just trying to sell me something that I already got. Okay. So I don't want to be in that position. You see what I'm saying? Plus, just like I know I did the thing on the scanner, I guarantee you some of them people have already bit off of that and put the and made an affiliate link to that scanner on their site and like, hey, I got this great idea. Use this scanner. They got it from me. That's fine. Okay, cool. But there's another thing is that it takes time to build this stuff because, and just so y'all know, I understand fully what affiliate link stuff is, affiliate marketing, all of that, because I'm a webmaster and that's what I've done for many years for other clients that I have, affiliate marketing, putting links in there that they get from whoever they're affiliated with and helping them to monitor that, and even using Google to track how many people are, how many times people are clicking on those links and what revenue you're getting from it, all of that. So that was my job. That's what I can do. That's what I can still do now. But when it comes to me, I'm like, okay, do I really have time to get into all of that? And based off of what my business model is and what I'm trying to do, no, I don't. Okay. I don't. I understand about the Amazon shop that YouTube influencers can have. And I know about the merch shelf that YouTubers can have. I understand about selling clothes, all of that, because as a part of me being a webmaster, building websites for people, guess what? I help them set up stores. And the biggest failure that a lot of people have when it comes to merchandise is the logistics and the quality of the merchandise. Those are the two biggest areas. They don't have this logistics, the shipping together, and they don't have backup shipping. And therefore, also the merchandise sometimes is cheesy. So I don't want to put cheesy material out, and I don't want to put material that's going to take forever. That's my son. If you hear something sound like a horn, that's him blowing his nose. Yeah, he got sinus stuff when the weather changes. So, okay, what is going on over here? Oh, okay. So this is what I want you to understand about me. Just because I don't say something about something doesn't mean I don't know anything about that something. Okay. So just so you know, that is my background. Affiliate links, all of that, marketing. I understand it. I've done it. I've helped other clients of mine do it, all of that. But when I listen to people who contact me and I'm finding out the majority of people are like, oh yeah, I came to you after I spent all of my time over here and it wasn't working out over here with these people. And then somebody told me about you. So I'm coming in as an afterthought. And then I'm like, okay, well, if I'm coming in as an afterthought, now I got to figure out what products can I put up there that they don't have over there. So that means now I got to spend time checking out what everybody else is pushing and seeing what they're selling. And then I got to come up with a product. Now, the only way I can circumvent all of that is that I got to come up with a cheaper product and a product that is actually available, i.e. a printer, scanner, paper, all of that. And that link stays and that the deal stays current for at least maybe 2 or 3 months so that the word can get out that, hey, if you go over here to Griff, you can get this here equipment or this item for much cheaper than if you took theirs off of their affiliate link. So I got to come spend some time trying to negotiate some kind of deal, cutting deals, and I don't have time for that because the way I am, and hopefully if you've been watching my channel and sincerely watching my channel, you would know that I'm all about giving you value. So if I'm going to push a product, it has to be value in there for you. Back in the day, if you did an affiliate link, there was always a discount. Sometimes you don't see that with these. It's just sell the product. They're just selling the product, and then you getting compensated for doing so, for pushing it and everything. And they don't always offer discounts. And if they do, great. It might be a discount for a limited time, all of that. So just as the scanner that I talked about, it cost me $149. But by the time I even did a review on it and talked about it, which was over a month, which almost a month later, the price had went up $30 to $179. And then off the brother site, you could buy it off the brother site for $169, get a $10 deal off. Okay, cool. But I just don't feel comfortable pushing something where I know I got it $30 cheaper and you're going to have to pay. What kind of deal is that? And then you know how we are. If it takes too long to get your merchandise, if it takes, or if the deal isn't sweet enough on the scanner, printer, or paper clip or whatever, people will be sitting up there doing exposure videos of how cheesy the merchandise was, and the scanner cost this much and the paper clip cost that much. So my risk tolerance for that is very, very low. Very low. Now, again, some of you may say, well, man, you just making excuses. Nah, I'm not. This is what I've looked at into. Now, with me doing 60 plus signings a month, over $1,000 in house inspections, and each house inspection is costing is what? Shoot, what is it? So oops, hold on. So you're talking about another 50 plus house inspections that I'm doing. So I'm doing 60 or so closings and then 50 house inspections in 30 days. I don't have time to sit there and really focus and play with affiliate marketing. Plus, I'm doing this with y'all, and I love doing this. And then the membership side, I love doing that. Then spending time with the family. And the only thing that I would legitimately look into would be the merchandise. But when I've already looked into that, and when I did, I was like, to really make it pop, you need to have your own store, because of how much money they take in the cost, and using, it's like, okay, use Printful and all this and that. Okay, setting up the online store isn't a problem because I already have that, being a webmaster. Take a plug-in, boom, boom, boom. So now it's like, okay, now you got to get a graphic artist, and then you got to get the merchandise ginned up. Now you got to look at the quality of the material, all of that. So I'm like, okay, that's going to take some time to really do it, and to do it correctly, not just do it right, because sometimes right is not always correct. So you got to do it correctly so that it can be a benefit to the recipient. If it's not a benefit to the recipient, I don't want to do it. Now, if you've ever looked at Shark Tank, they actually analyze what's going on and make a decision as to whether they're going to invest their time and money into something that somebody is sharing or pushing. And as a person who's trying to be wealthy, you have to think about what it is that you're getting into. You also got to look at the timing. If the timing isn't there, then you most definitely can't just hop out there. You have to sit there and look at all the factors that are involved. Case in point, somebody brought up a real good idea, and I know they may think that I sort of shot it down. And I guess you could say I did, but I do my fritter Friday. So they suggested, hey, why don't you just make your own fritters, and basically instead of spending money with Dunkin' Donuts? Great idea if I had the time. And I shared back with them. I basically summed to the fact that I feel that the time that I would have to invest into doing that, I should put it into my business. Because here's the thing. You got basically two mindsets: an entrepreneur mindset and a hustler mindset. Some people think always being a hustler is being an entrepreneur. Not necessarily, in my opinion. And not really, not really. A hustler just looks at it, oh, that's a money making opportunity, and then get out. An entrepreneur tries to build something that's a little bit longer lasting, more sustainable, that's legit and legal, doing things correctly. Okay. Not all hustlers are doing stuff legitimately. Okay. There was that whistle again. I don't know where that come from. So you gotta look at it. That's how I look at it. I'm not gonna say you gotta look at it. That's how I look at it. So I have to look at it. Okay, am I trying to hustle something, or am I trying to legitimately build something? Now, with making donuts, one of the things y'all don't know about me is that I love cooking, and I'm a very good cook. Okay, my wife can tell you I'm a very, very good cook. Um, if I was to start doing donuts, there's a chance that I'm going to want to sell them on a mass scale. I'm just being honest with you. That's more than likely what I'm going to want to do. I'm going to tweak the recipe to something that I think would taste better. Sometimes they don't have enough apples in the fritter. It's not appley enough for me. It's just more frittery. So I need an apple fritter to have apples in it, not fake apples. So now I got to find good quality apples, stuff that's good for baking, and that's not going to be too soft, and all of that. So I'm in years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I was making a killing. I was selling sweet potato pies for every thanks for Thanksgiving and Christmas. I would sit here and I got a huge mixer and everything, one of the kitchen, what is it, KitchenAid, the big KitchenAid mixer and everything. And I was sitting there making my own sweet potato pies. If you scroll back into my Facebook profile, you will see all of that. I think even on my Instagram, you might see some pictures of me of stuff that I cook. So cooking is a part of me and I can really do it. I got a $12,000 oven. Okay. Look up AGA ovens, $12,000 oven. That's what I have. So I'm 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 for real when it comes to cooking. Okay. Um, Let me show y'all what I have. This is what I have. I have the 3-door. It's red just like this. It just doesn't have the 3-door. What I wanted I wanted this one. This is the one that I wanted. Has 4 ovens. 1, 2, 3, 4. This here's the burner control, or maybe this is the burner control. No, this might be the 5 oven. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this is the 5 oven. I don't know what I was thinking. 5 of them. This is what I wanted. I wanted this size here. These things cost some money. Okay. But what I ended up getting was the 2 oven one. And I love that one. I mean, that thing works excellently. So here's a picture of what I really, really wanted. This is what I wanted. And you can cook some everything in here. Okay. You can really get down. So when I say I can cook, trust me, I can cook. And everything. So that is what I wanted. I was trying to find the actual 2 oven one that I got. Here it is. This one's not the flat top, but it's the 3 doors and all of that. So that is what I got. Well, no, that's the 3 of them. My bad. So that is what I got. So I can cook, and I know me. With an entrepreneur mind like me, I'm instantly thinking, okay, how I can sell this and make money. Now, here's the problem with that. It can take me away from what I'm actually supposed to be focused on doing, which is what? Running my notary business. Same thing with a hustler. If you out here hustling, next thing you know, you drop the notary business and you hustling donuts. So I got to be mindful and careful. Is that something I can have in the back burner? Yeah. But right now, I'm not really trying to push my cooking thing. Okay. I really could, but I'm not with I'm not doing that right now. So what I'm trying to get you to understand is simply this. Anything that you do, you have to evaluate it, analyze it, and make sure just because people say that's another stream of income, is it really? It might be for them, but it may not be for you. So, and I'm going to put in the description and all of that some videos, and I talked to y'all about one of these videos, this here, the truth about multiple streams of income and 7 millionaire passive income streams. So these are the 7 millionaire passive income streams. This is what you need to understand. There are people out here who are just saying things, and please don't take this personal, those of you who commented about me doing this, because this is just how I feel. It has nothing to do with y'all. There are people out there who just are saying things, but they haven't read and researched themselves. They're like, you just need to get multiple streams of income. Okay, what multiple streams of income should I have? It's just get this, get that, get this, get that. And this video here, and I'm going to link it in the description. And probably this year's at the 20 mark. So at the, let me make note of that. So I remember at the 20-minute mark, start linking these videos. So at this 20-minute mark, y'all see the little tab thing. Click on that to get to this video. Okay. So in here, he's talking about the truth about about multiple streams of income, and then the 7 passive streams of income that millionaires. And one of the things he says in there, and I agree, that most millionaires made their millions off of one solid idea, and then it moved into other streams of income. A lot of you haven't even gotten good at the one solid thing that you're trying to do or supposed to be doing, and you're already trying to spread your tentacles out there, and then you end up burning out and not really, you're nullifying each other. Because if you don't, as he says in here, if you have money to invest in them or time, and if you don't have enough money, then you got to use your time. And there's only 24 hours a day and you can't spread yourself but so thin. You see what I'm saying? So sometimes you just got to get one good idea, work that until it produces the revenue that you need to invest into other things. But everybody is no sooner than let me come back to y'all for a second. No sooner than a lot of people get into this notary business, they're like, hey, be an apostille, be a government contract notary, be this kind of notary, be that kind of notary. Okay, now go direct, now go indirect, now go under the direct. I mean, it's like everything is like, okay, when are you going to get good at something? And throughout the whole process, you still don't know how to notarize. So all of this, you still don't know how to notarize. You still can't notarize anything. So that's one video. The other video is what everybody gets wrong about passive income. You need to listen to this one. It breaks it down, because not everything that you think is passive is passive. Okay. Then my new favorite one is this here, the 10 shades of wannabe entrepreneurs. I like this guy, Patrick Bet David. Okay. This man ain't no joke. I like him. One of the things I like about him is that he do them long videos like me. But he talks here about the 10 different types of entrepreneurs. The one night stand entrepreneur, the over under entrepreneur, the lazypreneur, the get rich quickpreneur, the babypreneur, the know it allpreneur, the partypreneur. That partypreneur, let me hit that real quick. There's a lot of you out here who partying a little too much. Okay. I know you're happy you're making money as a notary, but and yes, I'm telling you, you need to slow down on some of your partying, because some of you're partying so much that you just too tired to go do your closing. You're still in a fog. You still a little, from, you know what I'm saying? You still got a little bit of that in you and everything. You got to watch your partying. Okay. Once you get a certain age, you need to chill out with the partying. Okay. You don't, to decompress and relax doesn't mean that you got to go get lit. And that's what some people are doing. And everything is a party now. You got to be careful of that. The one hit wonder, the stingypreneur, and my favorite, which goes and coincides with what we're talking about here, the I get aroundpreneur, entrepreneur. That one is the person who's constantly hopping from thing to thing to thing to thing. Every time you turn around, they're hopping on something. It's like, yeah, I heard this was good. I heard this was popping. I heard this. I heard that. And every time you turn around, that's what they're doing. So you have to be very, very careful. And this was from back in 2016 when he did this. So even though this was just a few years ago, this is very relevant today. Very relevant. So I get what you're asking me to do, but I'm gonna be honest with you. One of the things that I'm also concerned about, and I've learned, and I always have been, is that when people make suggestions, and I'm not saying that you're doing this, more than likely you're not, probably 100% you're not, but I have this in my mind due to past experiences where people have suggested things to me, and then when I start doing them, it's like they start wanting to take credit for my success. And then they start acting like I owe them something. And I'm very cognizant of that. I'm very cognizant of that. I mean, heck, we see that with the situation with Kwame Brown. He goes and hangs out with a couple of people, other YouTubers, and talk to them, and maybe he was on their show or whatever. And the next thing you know, he gets on YouTube and they're trying to take claim for his success. I'm like, yeah, because of me, you blew up. And it's like everybody's trying to take credit for other people's success. And I'm sitting here like, I'm very cognizant of that, and I always ask myself, okay, this person is suggesting something to me. Is it out of the kindness of their heart, or is it because they want to turn around after I do it and say, well, see, look, look, if it wasn't for me, Griff wouldn't be doing what I told him to do this. I told him to do that, and look, he did it, and look where he's at now. We don't have a relationship like that. How about building a relationship with me? How about calling me and talking to me and allowing me to get to know you, so that, okay, I'm just a little iffy about just because you're saying, well, I should get paid for something. I don't deserve to get anything. I got to go earn it. Just because I talk about a product, just because I show something, doesn't mean I deserve to get money from that company. That's something that I chose to do. They didn't ask me to do that. Okay. They didn't suggest it, and I didn't contact them. So when people say that to me, and this is just how I am for my whole life. So again, if you're going to take this personal, like I'm coming at you, that's your decision. But this has nothing to do with you. This is just a part of who I am. And from different things, again, my third business, and I've had people constantly always telling me what I'm supposed to do and should do in my business, and not understanding my business model and what my business goals are, and not even understanding what my risk tolerance is. I got to keep in mind my risk tolerance and make sure that my wife doesn't suffer, because if I make the wrong decision and get involved in something and I can't handle it and can't finish it, then I got to go. And I don't want to have to go to her and say, babe, you're going to have to shut your business down and go back to work. I am not doing that. So I have to be careful about people suggesting things to me as if, like, okay, I should do it. I'm going to do it. And then they try to take credit for it. Again, I'm not saying that's you, because I don't know you, but I do know that there are people out there that are like that. There are. And as much as you may want to believe that they're not, unfortunately, there are. So I have to be careful for my own self as to whether or not, okay, I'm going to take somebody's advice. Now, what I do with the advice is I look into it. I investigate it and decide for myself whether this is something for me. And it may take me 2-3 months. Just as people way back when was telling me to monetize. I didn't monetize. That was back in February when I hit 1,000. As soon as I hit 1,000, hey man, you need to monetize. I waited 7,000 people because I didn't know if I was going to keep doing this or not. I had to really look into it and make a decision as, okay, do I want to do what it takes to build up to that point and keep it going? Okay, I done did this organically, haven't been begging for this, that, and the other. So do I still want to keep pushing this? And I'm like, okay, yeah, but I'm going to just let it happen on its own. I'm not going to really try. I'm just going to continue to be myself. And when it happened, I was like, okay, I'm at 8,000. And then I sat down and I listened to the lead attorney, and he talked about it. And then about the revenue he's making. And I was like, okay. And then I talked and I found out how people use their money, because I'm also about, okay, what am I going to use it for? And when my son decided to get into the business, I'm like, okay, well, I can use it for him. So I've already used it to renew his insurance for, his E&O insurance, because he's been a notary. He's been signed up for a year now. And he's just really getting started, because of his work schedule and all of that. So way back last year, me and him got together and got him started. And then now he's in a position where he can. And just yesterday, or this past Friday, he actually did his first refinance by himself without me being there. And then the week before, he did a loan application without me being there. So he's getting much better, and the flow is coming along. and he's starting to get more notifications because so far he's virtually been error free. He's had one error where he forgot to notarize one document, and I missed that. I had checked and I missed it and everything. So and that was on his very first one, but since then he's been on point and stuff. And then just to help him out, I got the little notarized stickers to just to remind him, to help him out. Say, put this here where you need to notarize, as a reminder, because you got so much stuff going on as a new person. It's easy to forget, and many of you notaries know you can forget that. And just so people know, I got that off of Amazon. There's no affiliate link, so please do not hit me up. You need to do affiliate links for stickers. Okay, I'm not doing that. Okay. Also, other thing concerning that the scanner, a lot of the questions that people are asking can actually be answered if you was to go and look at the video on the Amazon site about the scanner, about how many pages and how it functions and all of that. Because I'm not really doing a big product review, and that's not my goal. That's why I didn't answer those, put that information out, because you can go find out for yourself. I mean, honestly, and this is one of the things that notaries need to do, is go look into it for yourself. Don't, it's like, well, Griff, why don't you just tell me what I need to know? And I'm like, well, I wasn't doing the product review just to sit here and give you every single spec. Okay. And I'm not trying to be funny with this, but just think about it logically. If I told you where it's at, I showed you, gave you the name and all of that, ideally you would go and look at it yourself and say, okay, well, let me see for myself. Let me learn about it myself. And I'm seeing notaries, a lot of people aren't willing to do that. It's like, well, you didn't create a link in there, so I'm not going to go look at it. I'm like, okay, so you mean to tell me you will pass up on an opportunity to learn something new or find out about something because you actually had to hand type something in there rather than clicking on, rather than you being able to click on a link. So because you couldn't click on a link, I'm not even going to worry about looking at it when it's something that can help you out. And see, that's the part. And maybe that's really the big difference between me and a lot of people. Somebody puts the information out there. I'm like, okay, well, let me go look into it. Whether I click the link or not, I'm going to still look into it and find out for myself, okay, how can this benefit my business? Because I need to know this. I can't just rely on somebody to tell me every single thing. So I need to go and look into it myself to see if this is a viable option. That's why when people suggest things to me, I hear what you're saying, and then I go look into it for myself. I don't initiate anything just because somebody said, hey, you need to go do this. Okay, what is this you're asking me to do? You're not giving me any guidelines or clarification as to what it is. You're just saying, start this here, ... Well, now let me go look into it. And what does it take to do it? What is the cost involved in this? Just as, the old song says, what God has for me is for me. So if there's something out, that means also the flip side is that if it's not for me, he's going to keep it away from me. So I got to look at, is this something that is for me that can be positive in my life, that can also be a benefit to the people who I'm looking to be recipients of it, then I can do it. If it's not something that fits with my core values or things that I want to see done, then I'm not going to get involved with doing it. And that is one of the things that we have to understand about ourselves. But if you don't understand who you are and what your risk tolerance is and what your belief systems are, you can just be all over the place, just tagging into some of everything, basically being that get around entrepreneur where you just involved in some everything, but you ain't really being productive in anything. And that's not the kind of person that I'm trying to be. That's not the kind of business owner I'm trying to be. So I do appreciate it because it makes me.
My apologies. I couldn't hear what you said.
That's the iPad. It does, it opens my eyes up to different things, just like the person asking me about the merchandise. I said, okay, I'm going to look into it. I did. I see the pluses and minuses. I know how I am. So here's where my standard is up here. And some of these sites that I could use, the standard is down here. but then to use the standard, the sites and the mechanisms of the standards that's up here, I got to get into it. I got to take some time into it. And that's one of the wonderful things, because Jespert talks about in the passive income video, or the first one, the streams of income, about how he passed up on an opportunity, not because necessarily it wasn't a good opportunity, but he had to put time into studying and learning the industry. If you're not in a position to where you can study and learn the industry and learn fully whether or not this thing is something that you can do, then you should not stick your money into it. And that is a big problem that we've had with the notary industry, that so many of you have jumped into this business and you never took time out to learn or to understand what your risk tolerance is for the notary business. And once you got into it, you learned that your risk tolerance is low because you don't want to drive this distance, go this far, do something at night, do something on the weekend, do something when it's rain, do something when it's cold, do something when it's hot, regarding loan closing. All of these restrictions that you have as to what you will and won't do, you didn't consider any of that before doing this. And then once you got in here, you're like, oh snap, this is what this is about. Nah, I ain't down for that. Nothing wrong with that. But you probably should have took time out and investigated, but you thought, and probably because of the infomercial, it made you feel like if you don't hop in now, you're going to miss out. So you hopped in and nothing's popping like you thought, and you're still missing out. That is what's going on. So I've learned this over the years. I've learned this listening to millionaire and billionaires talk about how they go about their business. And yes, those are the people who I listen to because that's where I aspire to be. Irregardless of whether or not I ever get there, in order for me to be my best at what I'm doing on this level, I need to look and listen to people who've already accomplished this level and beyond. So I'm listening to them, and I'm like, okay, got it. Okay. And the people who are on my level, what they're talking about is not what the billionaires and millionaires are talking about. The people on our level are talking a whole different thing. They're talking about, oh, do this and do that. And I'm like, but they're talking about something more solid. I need to listen to them. Plus, they're proven. So they're the ones proven. We haven't proven ourselves, but so much. And then our whole premise behind why we say we're going to do something sometimes is flawed. And it's not as solid as we think it should be, or think it should be. So we gotta like, okay, I hear what you're saying, but you're just asking me to do this, or telling me I should just to be doing it. But there's no real rhyme or reason. So why am I doing this? Well, you can make money. You can make this amount of money. You can make a whole lot of money. Okay, but I don't, that's really not me, to be up in somebody else's house, to be in a bunch of strangers' houses. But you can make money doing it. And then you give in. You see what I'm saying? So then you give in to the hype. And then you come to find out, I really don't like, I got anxiety, it's stressing me, all of that. So now you done spent all of this money to be into something that really didn't fit who you are. And now you got to bow out. So you really got to look into things and take things into consideration and count the cost. And if you do, just because it's not for you doesn't mean that, okay, you're a loser, or you just missed out, man. You just missed out. There are plenty of opportunities that I've missed out on because it didn't fit my risk tolerance. It didn't fit the risk tolerance of my family. I didn't see how I was supposed to effectively make money. I didn't like the method in which I was supposed to make money. It was too dependent upon people who I don't know, and that I'm supposed to try to market myself to and convince them to spend money and sign up for something that I was a little iffy about. So all of this is a part of being a successful business owner. And all I'm saying is I do appreciate the ideas. Now, whether or not you keep them to yourself, that's up to you. But I do appreciate them. But I just want you to know that just because I may not hop on it doesn't mean that I don't appreciate it. Doesn't mean I didn't hear you. I didn't respond to some of those because I really didn't know what else. I didn't know what to say and to communicate where I'm, how I feel through writing. So that's why I said I'm gonna do a video. And then, like I said, on the member side, we're going to get a little deeper into this, and everything, taking it, another step forward for is working with your family member or members who may not necessarily be on board with you or have the right mindset. So we got to make sure they got the right mindset, risk tolerance, and all of that. So I just wanted to share my thoughts with you. Again, it's not meant to offend or be hurtful or harmful to anybody or put anybody down. I do appreciate it, and I do sincerely understand where you're coming from, because I've worked with people who want to do this affiliate thing, and their mindset is the same. Well, if I'm pushing a product or I'm mentioning it, I need to get paid. If they ain't paying me, then I ain't saying nothing about it. Got it. Okay, that's cool. Happy for you. Now, that's just not me. Okay. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with who I am. And that's the beauty. And I'm trying to help y'all to understand that and to do that for yourself. Be happy with who you are. Be happy with who you are. It's that simple. And you'll find things will work out way better. But if you aren't happy with who you are, not confident, not willing to take a stand, not able to tell people no when they ask you to hop into something, you'll be all over this place. So y'all have a good night. Peace.